Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are three childhood Manchester United fans from Singapore who bonded through Manchester United's ups and downs while we were in the army. I'm Sid.
I'm Joel.
And I'm Irving.
And you are now listening to the United Untied.
Let's go. Well, we've gone through the United Fergie era when we were growing up, and we've seen many managerial changes throughout the years, and now, right after Erik Ten Hag has left the club in goodwill, how do you feel about Amorim? What do you guys think about how he'll perform, the changes he'll bring? Any thoughts?
I think every season, every season we go into it, especially in the last 7 or 8 years being a Man U fan, I think every season we have a renewed sense of expectation. And in some ways, we have a lot more hope when there's a new manager. Because every manager has been through a pretty shitty spell. But no, I'm not gonna lie, I think I was quite excited, honestly, with Amorim as a potential candidate when he was even, initially the rumours, that came out that he was the one to take over Ten Hag if he was going to
especially after the City game.
Exactly, yeah, after he dismantled City with Sporting.
I actually read somewhere that they said that there was that match against City was City's most viewed Champions League game. It's mainly because of Sporting and United fans only.
Okay. It's fair. I mean, to be fair, United has had a very respectable connection with Sporting for very obvious reasons. But anyway, back to Amorim. I personally feel that he's good. I think he's doing a good job so far. Of course, results-wise, he'll take some time.
Better.
Of course, it could be better, right? Could be way better coming out of our horrendous couple of shockers against Brighton like we had yesterday. But anyway, what I like about him is that he's very I think he clearly has a plan. He clearly has a plan, which I feel like Ten Hag kind of didn't have in some ways. We're talking about a structure of the team, right?
Yep.
So let me illustrate. So I think Amorim, when he was first named to be the potential manager, the biggest question of asked was who will be Manchester United's back three, right? Because he's a very, very huge fan of a 3-man back line, and I think we've not seen a 3-man back line in a long time, especially for United.
I think the previous manager who did the back three was Conte at Chelsea.
Conte. I think it's a very Italian thing, right? It's a very Italian thing, and he won the league, right? And I'm not saying that a 3-man back line is a solution for United. I mean, clearly it doesn't seem to be the case for now, but what I like is that he's coming with a certain structure or philosophy of play that he's sticking to, and you can see that he's not just reverting formations every now and then. He's sticking to his back three, trying to get that philosophy drilled into his players. And of course, it takes time, I mean, playing in a new system, especially at this level of play, is not as simple as you're a professional, so if you switch to a 3-man, you'll still be able to perform straight away. It takes time to understand, what needs to be done.
What do you guys think though? And looking back at Erik Ten Hag, what do you think he failed at United? Because honestly, when he first came in, a lot of people were hyped as well. They gave him time. They gave him United gave him some sort of financial backing to get players. We had Anthony.
Of course, right now.
I think one of the few turning points that Ten Hag was obviously gonna fail was that I remember there was once they actually asked him when is he gonna implement the Ajax style of play, and his reply was just saying that it can never happen because of the players. And I think because of that, a lot of fans just got very discouraged by it. It's then why did we even sign you for, right? If you're not gonna bring the style in, I can understand if it's the players, then you should be looking at the players who fits your system and then bring them here. But then again, I don't know, maybe these players for some reason they just change up. Anthony is one example, right? But the good thing about Amorim, what I like about him is that he's actually still sticking to what he believes, and even though we get trash here and there, but he's still sticking to what he believes, and we can all see a style of play. Whereas Ten Hag is always we just stick to the plan, but the fuck's the plan?
But let's not forget 2 trophies, bro. 2 trophies, Ten Hag. It always goes on and on about 2 trophies. But I think exactly as you said, and you pointed out. And there's one more thing that I actually really like about Amorim is also how he handles his press conferences. His interviews, right? When he's asked questions, he always says the right thing, he doesn't blow up at the media. He's honest when he needs to be honest. But I feel like he puts it in a way where he doesn't like shoot down his players, to say
He actually did last night. Not really.
I mean, to say that they're like the worst team in the history.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I feel like the context of that was more of like I think he meant it like as a situation rather than
not as
we are like absolute shit. Like I mean, the fact that he has always been saying from the start that he had this very famous line where he said like, oh, like the storm will come, right, and we have to weather the storm when it does come. And I think that's very nice because if you realise, right, all the previous managers that we had also, even we talk like Ole or even when Van Nistelrooy took over as caretaker, right, there's always been this bounce effect, right? Like every time the new manager comes in the first game, it's like, wow, we'll win like 4-0 or there'll be some. I remember when Rangnick took over, we saw the Crystal Palace game, the way they were pressing, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is it. Like
we're back.
United is back, well and truly back, and then after that, you just
then we're not.
Yeah, but like for this guy, I feel in some ways, right, even though like not getting these kind of results at the start, it kind of does him some favors because we don't get sucked away from the reality that we are actually not where we hope
that's
to
actually
be, right?
Points,
yeah, so I feel like that's nice about him as well. And and what about you, man? Like, you've been awfully quiet. I think you're a huge supporter of Ten Hag. Must be, you seem a bit disappointed.
Honestly, I don't know. When Ten Hag came in, I was pretty apprehensive because looking at what he did at Ajax, I thought he could bring that over like one of the things. But then, from seeing how we didn't pick up from there, and some more the whole fiasco with Ronaldo and we had him back, I felt that was sadly mismanaged because I mean Ronaldo loves the club. I'm sure Erik Ten Hag is trying to do right by the club and by him, but I don't know, some part of me just wish that would have worked out because then we could have seen the best of Ronaldo with the club that we had. I felt we could have seen more. It was really unfortunate. I don't know, I felt that once Ten Hag came to United, that would have been a turning point, but then it wasn't. So.
But in some ways, I also feel like some respect to Ten Hag, right, for how he handled that Ronaldo thing, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to this will probably disagree with me, for the very fact that we're talking about Ronaldo here. Of course, don't disrespect Ronaldo in any way. Like, obviously, one of the greatest players that we've ever had, and we're very of course, and of course, I think we're very blessed to have him return. And even despite the fact that a lot of them say he flopped at his second tenure at United, it wasn't a flop. I wouldn't say it was a flop at all. Like, of course, it ended very sourly. Let's put it that way. I wish it would have ended a nicer way, but it couldn't, right? But I think by no means was it a flop. Given his age and everything, to come back and he still achieved what he achieved is insane.
Before Diallo, he was the one that scored the last.
That's true.
And it was 2-0 against Spurs. And
the one that put a free kick in as well, right? That was insane. But I think that's it, right? Given how big Ronaldo is, the very fact that Ten Hag had a bit of a dispute with Ronaldo, I think he easily lost half of United's fan base. But to me, it's I like the fact that he stood by his principles, which is no player is bigger than the club, and it's kind of similar to what Ferguson did with Beckham also. If you really look back at it, only difference is right now Ronaldo is probably a greater figure because of social media's presence. I believe what social media
greatest YouTuber.
Exactly, he's YouTube and so on. But anyway, I think it's sad. Obviously, we would all have wanted it to work out with Ten Hag. Right? I don't think we wish for any of our managers to blatantly fail. But I think eventually it came to a point where it was really just I think the players started to question it and be like where are we actually going? Is there really a system? And you mentioned how the question was, when is he going to start bringing Ajax into Man Utd, right?
Correct.
And I think his response was probably skewed more towards the lines of how Ajax is just talent factory. They produce the talent, right? And then obviously they offload this talent, make the profits, and then the cycle just keeps repeating itself. But for a club like United, when you come here, that's not the objective. Right? The objective is you want titles, you want to compete right from the get-go, which I get, but I also think to some extent we are in a position where we need to kind of be a bit realistic also. We're not really there at that point.
Honest thoughts, so would you think the same conclusion would have happened with Amorim if he had Ronaldo now? Because it's the same thing what Amorim is saying. Every week, whoever's starting is not confirmed. It depends on your performance at training. Do you think it would have been a... I mean, with that said, Ronaldo has an equal chance of not being played as well. So, any thoughts?
I would to me, maybe I'm more biased towards him, right? So I think that he would fit because right now, yes, even though we don't have many opportunities for the striker like Højlund and Xerxes, don't even have a good enough chances to even score, right? But I believe that
I think
Ronaldo's
second going to score if he gets into the box.
Like Ronaldo's second, like, what was it called? Like appearance? No, not appearance. Like his second spell in United, right? Like he could create goals out of nothing, right? You just need to put the ball in, and then most probably it's gonna lead to a goal already.
So then, like, this brings up something I need to ask. What about Cavani? What do you all think about Cavani?
Holy shit!
I feel like Cavani is like the forgotten player, right? That we never realized that we actually had, or like it's and like a lot of people say like, okay, like Cavani is the kind of player that we should have signed like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and then we would have had it, right? But like actually looking at Cavani, I feel like
I think he would have been a more perfect.
Yeah,
he seemed like he was he was really a fantastic player for me. I really liked especially the game. I think was it Southampton? I believe it was. Yeah, it's probably Southampton. The one that he did a diving header to turn a shot. Was hitting out, right? And then he
COVID period.
Exactly, and then he just latched onto it, right? And when he did that, I was straight away like, bro, like Martial or Rashford would never have been in that position to have that instinct to do that.
Yeah.
And then of course the chip that he scored against
last few games, right?
Was it Fulham, right?
Yeah.
It was. I mean, that was whatever. I mean, that's just different altogether. That was just a moment of brilliance. But like, I felt like Cavani, Ronaldo, like these are players who have the striking awareness, that striking instinct. But yet, it seemed more like a service problem in some ways. Like, I feel like there was not too many chances being created. They took probably like most of the chances that they got, they tried and converted it.
Correct.
But I think the problem has been creatively speaking also. The rest of the team needs to create chances. Right? So, I mean, pity that Ten Hag had to go through that. But
But yeah, any thoughts forward on Amorim? What do you think he will achieve at the club? I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but what are your expectations?
Let's hear from you, man. Come on. Like, I think
Champions League. United win the Champions League. I'm a shave ball.
No, for context, he's been doing this for like every year in the past 3-4 years. He's always come up with some kind of crazy wager. So I remember the craziest one was the Champions League season where United took the shock victory against PSG, right?
Yes.
Our friend here was saying like, were you going to shave ball or?
No, he was going to sign on.
Was it sign on in the army? He was going to sign on the army apparently while we were serving our national service. And he said that he was going to sign on the army if United went on to win the Champions League, right? And then going into the first leg, he was so optimistic. I thought PSG was going to destroy us, right? And then the second leg when we won, I think we were like so happy. And then he started to like, oh shit,
I got a little worried there.
Don't make a mistake. But then eventually Barcelona just hammered us last. Barcelona rescued you to be safe. But yeah, I mean, back to Amorim as you asked. I think let's draw comparisons to Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp lah. Right? I mean, when Jurgen Klopp came in, I think the first thing he did, and very smart of him, was to straight away talk about the reality of the situation where he said, look, we're going to need time. Right? And I think a lot of managers now they're trying to do that also, like when they take over a role or trying to rebrand a club, rebuild a club. I think that's the first thing they try to do to play it right also, which is like we need time to like turn things around and stuff. And I think Liverpool gave him that time, if you really look at it, right? They didn't rush in getting rid of him. In fact, I thought Arsenal were going to mess up with that. Like with Arteta, there was this period of time
really stuck to him.
But I think Matt respect because they really stuck to him. And I think it was close. I think there were a lot of talks that there might be a potential that he's going to get sacked, but they're not.
Honestly, right, I think this will be the season he make a sack. I think. Yeah. Because you see with their whole recent run, right? And okay, last season, to be fair, City were just on another level, right? And Arsenal, they did well to really catch up, and this season, they have to play against Liverpool, and Liverpool is and on another level, right?
Liverpool
and
then,
is So
actually,
I just feel like Arsenal Arteta may just not be here next season really.
Actually, that could be a possibility, actually. But,
do you think he might get sacked? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments.
That's right. Okay. Moving on, there are new other things. There's also a new league structure taking effect. Any thoughts on that?
For the European games?
Yes.
I think it's damn confusing.
Honestly, it's
like,
really confusing.
Just stick to the table games. What is this?
I guess growing up is like we're just very reluctant to change, right?
And honestly, I think the most important factor that takes away is the home and away games. I think that's one thing that maybe not. I think it impacts more on the fans. It's like you would like to see certain clubs play at your own home country instead of going all the way there, right? I don't know. Maybe like Sporting and City, right? Why Sporting fans would have actually wanted to wait. Where did they play? Etihad or?
The one that Sporting beat them? That was their home ground. Sporting's ground.
So it's like I don't know lah. Maybe there are some Sporting Portuguese City fans, right? Missed the opportunity to go to Etihad.
Oh, that's fair. And yeah, I just think that it's, of course, the total volume of games has gone up, right?
Yeah.
And I think it has quite evidently shaken up, like, even the league performances of these teams.
Yeah,
like, so I
sure.
mean, predominantly we follow the Premier League, right? So you take a look at teams like, basically all the European teams. I mean, let's not talk about Man Utd now. But I think the team that is really a standout for me this season, as you say, is actually Liverpool. Like, I really thought that they would struggle given the number of games, because I think this schedule of fixtures really demands a lot of fitness from the team, like rotation, squad depth basically. Squad depth has to be like a main focus nowadays. And I think it didn't do City any favours that Rodri got sidelined for the whole season, right? So he's already gone, and they were already struggling to adapt to that, the Premier League. So having a lot of these games means you definitely need to rotate your players, right? And I think it's clearly allowed some of the underdogs, if I may call them that, to pull off surprises. Like, if you look at the table right now, we have Nottingham Forest, who are set on second place right now.
What's going on?
We have Bournemouth, I believe, who are also charging up for Europe, right? They're leading the Europe charge at this point. And like, these things will never have happened, right? And of course, I mean, there are some changes that have come with Nottingham Forest. Obviously, Nuno came in and his new management and so on. But I still think that some of these effects are actually attributable to the new structure of games. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, interesting time to be alive.
And, well. I mean, we have to adapt to this new system, but it's
we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so guys, we've talked about Amorim already. So what do you think about the players?
What's your starting lineup?
Mine, if I had to choose the best 11, so okay.
Let's start from the keeper first. After the Onana incident.
I was completely going to ignore the keeper and start with my back three, but okay, we'll talk about the keeper. Personally, I think Bayern should start with Onana. That's a
But why?
strong take. I'll tell you why. And I know nobody's gonna like this lah. Like, after he mishandled the ball. Okay, but to be fair, I think a lot of people like this after what he did against Arsenal, right? But I'll say this: I feel that Bayern distribution of the ball with his feet is not as good as Onana's. That one for sure. I think we can all agree on that. But I still feel that at the end of the day, a goalkeeper is a goalkeeper. Like, your root, your core role is to prevent shots from getting past you, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest about it. We had De Gea, who was a fantastic shot stopper. Right?
Yeah.
And then obviously there was a shift, and then he was falling out, and then we wanted a keeper who plays out from the back. Right? And this whole play out from the back system, I think there are only two goalkeepers who I really feel started doing it very, very well, which I'll start off by saying Alisson is one of them. Right? The other one is actually Ederson.
You're forgetting the OG.
Who's the OG?
Neuer.
Dude, Neuer is not even playing off in the back, bro. Neuer is like literally in the penalty box at the halfway line. He's everywhere, right? But no, I think when I realized that this system cannot be forced down, goalkeepers' throats, right? It's really when Petr Cech was in Arsenal, right? And there was this period of time where they were trying to force him to play out on the back, and he will get the ball on his feet, right? And then he will be like, and then he'll realize he's being closed down by 2-3 people, and he'll just panic pass, and he'll go to the opponent, and then the opponent will score, right? That's why I realized, like, can't really force this system into a goalkeeper, especially the traditional keepers, the older ones. I think they will just focus on their job, which is freaking saving, right? And like, I mean, let's be honest. I think for the teams that actually have a keeper who's able to do that well, and the system does support that, right? It definitely provides a benefit. I think gives the centre backs a lot more comfort as well, because a keeper technically becomes like essentially a centre back in that line, right, to open up passing options. But for Onana, bro, like, dude, he can pass the ball and stuff, but we've seen how many howlers he has made, right, this season. And I think Bayern just, to me, feels a lot more secure. Like, apart from that one, that game against Spurs, which obviously every keeper has bad games. But I think Arsenal was a clear-cut, solid performance. But even just in general, when I see him, right, he feels more predictable. Like when a shot is coming to him, the way he goes down and grabs it and stuff. Onana has this habit where he likes to he's like playing volleyball, bro. It's like he'll try to use his wrist to snatch at the ball. So those low grounder shots, he'll wait, then he'll try to go down, and then he'll try to swipe at it and stuff which gives me panic attacks, bro. Because I don't know what the hell's gonna happen when a shot comes at him, So for me, I still feel Bayern a bit more predictable that way. I feel it's better to have a safe pair of hands at the back than very talented pair of feet.
But I know, no.
Yeah, I think by India. This season, because there's so many changes, we need somebody who is more consistently good at goalkeeping rather than distribution, in my opinion. So I feel that Onana has made more mistakes as a goalkeeper than a distributor. More when you compare to Bayern.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's a very nice way to put it.
Yeah. So at the core of what every football club needs is a goalkeeper as well as meant to make sure goals don't get scored. So I think on that front, unfortunately, by India takes my spot. Yeah.
Right.
You?
Honestly, I have no idea. Because, okay, why?
How about Tom Heaton, bro? Maybe we forgot like Tom Heaton exists.
I think he did play well.
He did,
right?
right? He did, right? The game that he played. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, maybe I would say I'm still leaning towards Onana.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Like I feel that yes, even though Bayern was the man of the match against Arsenal, right? I feel that a lot of this is really due to like recency bias. Right?
Okay.
Like yes, there are
Yeah.
no doubt he deserved the man of the match. Like he really saved our ass. That's why we proceed to the next round, right? Whereas for Onana, don't forget the Southampton game he actually played very well.
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, if not for Ahmad's hat trick, right? Maybe he would have gotten the match also, which I think
Possible.
maybe lots of people forgot.
Yeah, there was a sick double save, right?
Yeah,
that he did, the one that he
Yeah.
just used his chest and literally just.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell is
and
going on?
don't forget, remember, I
That's
think it was Amorim's first game.
Yeah.
He made a few saves, and then I think there were like short clips around here showing Onana with the goalkeeper coach. Oh, like he was doing this during practice. Oh, he did it in game.
In fact, to be honest, like the first quarter of the season that he's been running, Onana was leading the golden ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was in the shop to win the.
He was in my FPL.
Where is he right now, actually, in terms of stats?
No idea.
You see, he's still the.
Let me check.
We have to check whether he's still leading the. Like you wouldn't imagine. He feels like one of those stats that you would be surprised to know, right? Like right now, you would think that he's having an absolute howler of a season.
Yeah.
But then when you check and realize he still has the most clean sheets in the season, and you're like, how is this going on?
Yeah, going on.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think the fact that he played for Inter Milan is just a huge thing. Really, to be honest, if you told me now Onana was from any mid-table club in the Premier League and he came over to United, right, or even in the Spanish league or whatever not, I think we'll be asking questions a lot sooner. I think the reason why he's having a spot here is because he was in the Champions League finals, playing against City, right? Like they were like, come on, this is a Champions League final caliber player. And I'm not going to say that he's a bad goalkeeper. I mean, definitely there is a good player in there. I'm not going to deny that. But I think, especially under Amorim, as we said, right, he has this habit of giving players a chance to play. Right? He doesn't just stick to 11 because they produce results.
Yeah.
So in such a system, I think that competitiveness, it will show. Like, you're not guaranteed a starter. And at the end of the day, if you don't perform, somebody else is there. That's the kind of healthy competition we want at a club also, right? And I feel like, at the very least, I feel Bayern should get the nod over Onana for a Premier League game.
Should.
Because I feel like most of the teams, how they will do it is first choice, second choice, and then the second choice plays for all your regional competitions, and then you have your league, your main league, which will be your first choice, and then all these like FA Cup games and stuff like that, you rotate, right, just for rotation. But I feel like we're in a position where we don't really know who is our number one choice, you know what I mean? So
I do see glimpses of De Gea in Bayern though.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if you guys see it, but there are a few glimpses of some of the few senses that exactly.
And save against Arsenal was classic.
What was it? David, is that you?
I think he's in terms of physique as well, right? When you just look at them in goal, right? Onana looks a little tough. I feel like I mean it's not a bad thing. I guess he's still quite athletic and acrobatic, but he feels like a little bit more stout, which I feel kind of adds to this whole like clunkiness that he brings. Like he doesn't seem as gracious or as agile in some ways, especially like getting down to save those shots that go to the low corner. Like Binder was crazy. The penalty save against Odegaard was like,
oh my gosh.
I think a lot of people, that was the moment they realized that this guy is because he has the frame and his reach is really, really good. So it just depends what you're looking for in a keeper.
And that is why he's my pick over Onana. But I think
clearly Amorim thinks otherwise at this point.
Because my only worry is that it will become another De Gea and Henderson situation. Where it was very confusing because I remember like my dad used to tell me, he said that whatever situation that was happening wasn't very healthy for both keepers. Because you see, each keeper is really depending on the mistakes of the other keeper. And then when you're pressured to play, now you're worried of making mistakes.
Yeah, you're not bringing out the best.
Good point.
Yeah, and then it start to be very shaky, very uncertain. Am I playing next week or what's going to happen? So let's try not to.
Fair.
Make this a thing. Right? Yeah, I think that's true. But one thing I like about Onana is he's like a very positive guy. You know, I've always seen the way he takes interviews, like when they question him, he's always saying that. He's always the one absorbing the blame and then saying that, look, if anything goes wrong, you blame me first, you know, you don't blame my defenders or whatever, it's my job to save stuff. And like, he has this very positive vibe with him, which I feel kind of rubs off on the team as well. But hopefully, you know, he'll get along well with the rest of the team. And because, I mean, if he continues to make mistakes like this as time goes by, definitely there'll be some players who will be like, you know, you can't lose the faith in your keeper, which is a very sad place to be. That's not a healthy situation, as you said.
I think it's a good test of their mental fortitude. I mean, we've seen how Harry Kane got shit and stuck by it, and look at how he's performing now. So I think that's a good way to test their mental fortitude, see where he goes from here.
So you see in your starting three now?
Yeah, actually yes. Yeah, moving to the I would say.
Who's the other two centre backs for you?
Wait, I want to hear what you guys say first. I will throw in the hot take after.
Okay, so
I would say.
So we're going based on the current 3-4-2-1.
Based on
Amorim's 3-4-2-1, right? Because it's not really a flat 3-4-2, two wingers. Okay, we'll talk about the back three first. Martinez and De Ligt.
Yep,
definitely there, right? I think whether you choose Euro or Maguire. Actually, for me, I would say Maguire. What I personally feel is that Maguire was exposed a lot in the past seasons because when we played with the back four, there's a bit more pressure for him to push higher up and win the ball right in the middle of the park. And he got, I mean, of course, he's not the most agile and he doesn't have much pace, as we know, right? So when he gets turned, you're screwed, right? He's not coming back, right? And we're going to get absolutely shut out. So what I did realize was the very first game Maguire actually played for United was against Chelsea. Right? And I'm not sure if you all remember that.
He scored a goal, if I remember.
No, basically he took on Giroud.
I think he scored.
I remember he took on Giroud, you know, like he was marking Giroud. So I was watching this game and I was like, wow, this guy looks rock solid. But then I realized that's exactly Maguire's strength. Like he's the guy who is there to hold that back line and header off whatever aerial balls comes in. And he's damn good at that. I have to give it to him. Like, he's really damn good at that. But the moment you've got pace running right at him,
that's it.
That's the end of it, right? Because you don't want that situation to happen. So I realized with this back three, right, Martinez is very agile. Martinez is really quite aggressive also. De Ligt, needless to say, he has the pace to kind of get back. I feel he's a bit shaky at times, but he's kind of getting there. I feel like we're starting to see like the player that we know him to be, right? The way he's making tackles and stuff. I think that kind of gives Maguire a bit of freedom to also be the one to like sit back a little bit more rather than pushing up and then you know getting caught up. Yeah, so I would definitely go for these three. That would be my preferred.
He took towards around. Yeah, because I feel that with De Ligt and with Martinez around, Maguire can afford to lay a bit back. Yeah, so he doesn't have. Unfortunately, in recent games, we've seen more of Maguire getting caught off guard than he has been ideally where we want him to be.
Yeah.
Moving forward, if these three grow in their awareness with each other, I think actually it's quite solid.
I think that comes with time, right? You have to obviously go through it.
I'm a bit mixed on it, but what are your thoughts?
Or would you go to Evans maybe? Because actually, to be honest, I'm not going to ignore Johnny Evans. I think for the times that he played, he actually did play pretty well.
Is he injured now?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's available for selection.
Was he ever in the squad yesterday?
That's a good question.
I don't recall because I know Martinez was on the bench.
Yeah, Martinez was bench. Like Euro started ahead of
Evans. No, I don't think he'll make. Honestly, to me, the main three will be Martinez, Maguire, and De Ligt, and then the occasional Euro here and there.
Okay, so it's still stick the same.
So honestly, I think Euro is still he's good, but I think he's still young.
Definitely. I mean, like, you know, see the tackle that he made against Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, we could have gone on to win 3-2 if Maguire kept it a bit lower at the end. But look, I think we will take a 2-2 draw against Liverpool given the current state of form, right? It was a huge result for us.
Yes.
And the tackle from Euro, I was like, wow, like this guy's got it. But then we went into Southampton, right? And he got absolutely skinned. Did y'all see how he was getting skinned on the wings? Like, it was just torture.
It was so painful to watch.
It was just torture, He was like nowhere near like keeping up with the winger and like, dude, like, that was when I realized that okay,
he still needs time.
He needs time, right, to kind of find his feet. or where he actually fits in the back three, right? I mean, putting him on the right side, De Ligt usually is the one who's playing on the rightmost side, right? Because he has some pace. But then again, I feel like De Ligt sometimes he gets a bit too caught up and excited, and he'll just slide in. So he gets faked a lot, right? Was it Arsenal? Was it Arsenal? No, it's not Arsenal. It was a goal that we considered recently. It was a curler from the left side to the far.
Liverpool.
Was it Liverpool?
It was Liverpool. The one.
Gakpo, yeah,
yes.
exactly, Gakpo, yeah. So that one was when he slid across. I was like, whoa, like where was he going, bro? He was like literally going towards the byline already. He didn't have to do that. So but I still feel De Ligt, Maguire, and Martinez. Midfield. Talk about the four, so we'll talk about the middle two first.
I think Ugarte has to start.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's been a standout what a player he has been. And I think there was even some rumours that came out in the news that he was very happy when he heard that Amorim was coming in and Ten Hag was leaving. Okay, I think more that Amorim was coming in because he's actually played under Amorim before. And quite rightly so lah. I think he's been growing and showing us why he's.
I think he's fitting very nicely to Amorim's plans.
Yeah, correct.
More consistently than other players, I feel.
Yeah, I think his ability to just, I think that thing that okay, your job is to just protect the back line, and he does it. He's really, really good at it. Yeah. Very aggressive as well. Like
basically, if you had bought Casemiro a few years earlier,
close enough. But actually, for Casemiro, I feel that's why he's still like cut above. I mean, not right now, but if you look at. He was winning the ball and then he also played those lovely balls over the top. Like he would create plays out of nothing. I was like, wow, what a player. But he had another player we could have signed like maybe like 4 seasons ago or something. Like, done as good. But we were never taking him away from Madrid in that form. There's no way.
No way he would have blessed that way.
But so Ugarte, for me, I think Ugarte's partner I would like to see. For me, it's Kobbie Mainoo. I feel Kobbie Mainoo is probably my best choice because I feel he's young, yes. But on his day, I feel
he's
like
one of the best on the pitch.
He has shades of talent that I feel like you don't see it in too many players. I think there's one more player, but I feel we call it the sauce, right? We say like this player really brings the sauce to the game, The other one who I really love to watch is actually Gravenberch. If y'all watch Gravenberch in Liverpool,
I heard about it, but I've not seen.
I've not seen it.
He's really quite mesmeric. Honestly, sometimes you see the way he glides through different like midfield and he's really, really good. And I think Mainoo has that ability as well. Like. I mean, when he scored that goal against Wolves, right, the one that he did another man. So I mean, that was like your moment, Everybody was like, I'm not trying to put the pressure on him and say he's gonna carry the team or he's the future of Man Utd. But like you see those glimpses, even against Liverpool, there was this game where he, I can't remember exactly.
What was the FA Cup games?
FA Cup was obviously one, but even generally, like you see those kind of high tempo games, right? His composure is really there. So when he gets pressed, when he gets pressed, the counter pressure, he's really gets out of. Yeah, you know FIFA there's the press proven. Plus. He's like plus. He gets some presses really, really nicely. Like, which I feel it helps us as your counter attacking.
Agree.
I
think in his recent performances he has been stepping up to the plate. I think like when he first started, a lot of people think he was lacking experience because he's young. But I think like this has proved. I mean, in recent performance, he's proven otherwise. I agree. I think it would be foolish not to include him beside Ugarte.
Do you think Chelsea will sign him?
No.
There are rumours that Chelsea are looking at him.
Fair, but I don't think United.
I hope like the rumor we are rumored actually for a different reason now. In the past we are always like rumored to sign players. I hope now it's the other way. We are rumored to sell, but we keep some of these guys. But
no, here we go for this. Here we go.
There we land. There we land. But what about wingbacks then?
I think right now it's fixed like Dalot or Mashraoui, or maybe Ahmad.
Ahmad as a right wingback. I mean, he got a hat trick at right wingback against Spurs. Against Southampton. But I still feel like my preferred position for him would be slightly up the pitch.
More punch,
Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. We don't really have a lot of defensive options, which is why I think coming into this transfer window, we'll also be looking at some fullback options. But Luke Shaw is obviously not there, right? He's injured. Malacia is coming out of injury and reportedly on his way out of the club as well. So I think naturally a manager should not prioritize playing the players who have their minds elsewhere because you should work with the people that you have. So that leaves us with Mazraoui and Dalot only. Like, I don't really see any other left back. Okay, let's not forget we have Harry Amas actually. I don't know where is Harry Amas, by the way. I think he had a fantastic preseason, but God knows where he's gone. Like, he was so promising, but he just disappeared. It's like Alvaro Fernandez, sent him out, and then now he's supposedly performing so well for Benfica that there was even talks that maybe going to trigger back the buyback.
Correct.
But anyway, right now, given the current state of situation, I think for me it's Mazraoui right wing back and then Dalot left wing
back.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And then we obviously get to the bread and butter of Manchester United's attacking output. We'll talk about the front three. So the front three is obviously a little triangle. I mean, you don't really see wingers per se, because that's what the wing backs are there for. And then the two attacking mids are left and right attacking mid.
Bruno has to be there.
Yeah, Bruno. I mean, Bruno is to me creative in, like, he's always compared to like people like De Bruyne, right? And then you look at like assists and how many numbers, right? But I feel like Bruno is a different kind of creative in the sense that he does a lot of reckless things. Like, he's the kind of person who will get the ball in like the middle of the park and he's got like 3 or 4 options on the left and right. He'll just smash a random ball over the top. And then nobody will be there, right? But then suddenly 1 out of 10 times somebody will actually be making a run, and it works in the pass that nobody will see, you know. Yeah, so I feel like he's the kind of person who takes a lot of risks, and sadly for United, he has actually created a lot of chances that we just haven't put away. Like, we will delay, and Garnacho will probably try around the keeper, or Rashford will take 1 too many touches, and then the defense will come back and clear the ball. So sadly he doesn't get numbers, but he has to be there.
I don't know, recently I've been not fully impressed at Bruno's performance. I feel like like you said, there are more than none. There have been instances where he just launched the ball and nobody's just there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's again down to different factors. So,
but as a creative player himself, would you rate him as probably Manu's best creative player?
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, I would say
Nobody else.
Nobody else.
I mean,
I
definitely think Anthony is there.
Too bad he's going to Real Betis.
Yeah, that's a shame, right? I mean, we're losing our best player. Come on.
My favorite fidget spinner.
It's alright, man.
Okay, yeah, Bruno.
And
The one beside him?
for me, it's Ahmad. I would say Ahmad because I think Zirkzee has a shout playing behind the striker, but Ahmad needs to be there given the form that he's in. Playing on the right side, right side of attacking midfield. I mean, if he wants to drift a little wide and go to the wings, he can. But I think he has a creative ability as well. Like,
Ahmad does. Yeah.
So definitely Ahmad and Bruno for me. If Ahmad is not the right wing back, then definitely Ahmad has to be up there. Yeah.
Honestly, Ahmad's like pressing game, right, is really very good.
Yeah.
See how many goals we scored because of him pressing. Actually, you think about it, yesterday's penalty was actually because Ahmad pressed.
Yeah. Even the goal against Arsenal, you know the Garnacho, the one that he pressed, right? Oh, that was Garnacho who pressed, not Ahmad. The one who pressed and he won the ball from Gabriel.
Was it Garnacho?
That was Garnacho. Like, there's that same idea that I'm starting to see, that they always press on the flanks. Which is nice to see. But yeah, his pressing game is really incredible. Really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And he actually crosses the ball pretty damn well. I was quite surprised.
He's crossing the cover, but
yeah, on his right leg someone. I mean, he predominantly is a left footer, right? So I was expecting to cut in and I mean, Anthony is the one who would cut in and take the shot. He was supposed to do that, but so let's stop slandering Anthony. Wish him the best in Betis because he's leaving. But striker.
Honestly,
the big debate.
Controversial, but I'll go with Højlund.
Ooh. Okay.
I feel that he just needs to find his form, then he can convert better for us.
Is it really controversial though, if you say Højlund would start? I feel the controversial opinion would be say to start Zirkzee ahead of Højlund actually at this point. Because I feel like in the current, I mean, apart from Brighton yesterday, right? I mean, obviously Zirkzee started ahead. But I kind of feel that Højlund has always been still preferred as the striker over Zirkzee, who's kind of just getting into it right now.
He's preferred by the manager, but I think most fans want
Zirkzee
to play.
So I feel like right now we're starting to see a bit of so it's kind of leveling off already, which in some ways is quite good. But I feel like we need that kind of competition, right? We want there to be like a clear cut. But then again, if you told me one of them could be scoring like 30 goals a season and the other one scoring like 5 or 6, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind having one guy who's just so damn good at playing every single game and win. But I think it's a nice topic because both of them are pretty young as well.
Yeah.
And kind of like turning points in your career if you think about it, right? Like, do you stay at a place where you're second fiddle, or do you go somewhere where you're rated as a first? Of course, Hoyland, I don't think there's any news, but there was actually some talk that Zirkzee was a bit unsettled at Man U, but I think thankfully right
I think
now,
they're gone already.
they're kind of gone after his recent performance. It was that poor game when he got booed off the pitch, right, and got substituted.
Honestly, I don't think the boo was directly at him. It's like, just no matter who is coming on, they'll just get booed. I don't think it's just...
But I think as striker, you will have more weight over your shoulders.
Yeah, correct.
And to be fair, that game he really had a shocker.
Yeah.
Really had a shocker. I think he wasn't settling into the game, right? So yeah.
So what about you? What's your pick?
Honestly, right now, based on current form, I mean, don't talk about the goals. Current form, I would prefer Zirkzee. I feel like he can connect with the back too. I mean, the triangle. The triangle.
Yeah.
Whereas for Hoyland, he's just waiting for the ball to come to him, which I guess is a different style. Maybe when Hoyland is playing, they want to provide him the service. That's why he just runs for the ball. For Zirkzee, maybe there's some like interplay. I think yesterday there was one like Bruno just punt the ball at him. He really just ran, but he didn't even see the ball. The ball is his back. That wasted. So
I think this is where it gets interesting, right? So if Zirkzee plays, the biggest problem that everybody has with Zirkzee is that he's not getting to the box, right? So essentially, right, when he plays, right, does it then become a 3-4-1-2? Because he's gonna drop in behind the two players. But that said, right, when I compare the two of them, just watching Hoyland and Zirkzee play, right, Hoyland is very direct. He's the kind of guy that you probably have to play the ball behind the defense line, get him into a foot race, and then he's gonna dash into it because he's quick. He's very, very quick, way faster than Zirkzee. I mean, based on what I've seen. But but honestly, I don't feel like he doesn't United have not developed that level of creativity to keep creating chances where they play in balls behind the back and have a lot of clear-cut opportunities to slip him through on goal. Because don't get me wrong, his finishing is really quite good. I think his finishing is quite impressive. Like we'll talk about the goal he scored against Spurs, obviously the one that he smashed into the bar, and that was a nice finish. But quite recently he scored this little dinker. He dinked it over the keeper. So I feel like these are the kind of ideas that you see from some of the better players or strikers who know what they're doing. But at the same time, there are also sometimes where I feel like, what's he trying to do? Like against Liverpool, he had threw on goal on Alisson when the ball was played over. He bounced a few times and he was just chilling. So I thought he was going to smash it into the bottom right corner or put it top corner, and he just put it straight into Alisson's chest. So I was like, bro, come on, like. What are you doing? Then Lisandro had to show him how it was done, hammering into the near post. But I think it's a tough one. But if I had to choose, right, at this point, I would say Zirkzee. I think that's a controversial take also, because both of them are not performing particularly well. Not consistently well at least. But I feel like Zirkzee is one thing that I really like. His hold-up play is actually very good. He's got good strength.
He's bigger also, right, than Hoyland?
He is. Hoyland has this habit where he likes to back into the defender. Have you realised that he always likes to back into the defender to try and trap the ball? But it doesn't really work out for him. I don't think he really traps the ball and gets it done. But Zirkzee is very naturally doing it. It feels like Hoyland's trying to force himself to be able to do that. But Zirkzee is very composed. When he gets the ball, his touches feel a bit like clumsy, a bit like Berbatov, in some ways. I feel like he's a bit more like Berbatov-y, and then Hoyland is a bit more like should be like Rooney, like right through brute like a brute striker who just smashes the ball to the back of the net. But it's a tough one, but I'll still go with Zirkzee. So
okay, but with this, right, if Hoyland was in City squad last year, do you think he would have scored 30 plus goals?
That's a very good question. No.
Yeah,
I don't think he's got 30. Maybe we'll give him I'll give him half of it. No, because go and watch some of the finishes that Erling Haaland did, right, or goals that he scored. A lot of them say, he's just stepping in, right? Which honestly, not really. Back to differ. There's some goals where it's just he threw on goal one-on-one and he creates it for himself. I mind you, the ball is played through, he goes to 50-50, he bodies the guy, defender is dead ass on the floor, and he still has a job to do, which is to put it past the keeper, right? And he almost never misses.
He does.
You notice when he comes in one-on-one, he's so clear. He knows, am I going near post, far post, chipping the keeper, whatever, he does it, and it's never in doubt. But Man U strikers, I feel you don't see that. Every time they are through on goal, I get more panicky. Does he know what he's doing?
But that's the thing though, because you see, the reason why you're able to see all those Haaland goals, right, is because City create a lot of chances. I mean, we don't watch City games, right, so we actually don't know how many chances Haaland actually misses.
He does miss. I I've seen he does miss quite a few.
Yes,
I've watched a couple of games here and there. I mean, he definitely does. He does miss lah. I mean, there's no striker in this world who will just like convert everything, right? Obviously, but like, I would say for a fact that it is more of the intention. Like when you're in front of goal, like as a striker, right? Okay, look at Haaland, especially his movement. Like, there's been many goals where they've been scored where you just see his anticipation of where the ball is going to come is just spot on. Like, he'll be outside the penalty box. He gets the ball, he plays it out wide, and he chills, like just running a bit, and then suddenly he just makes this like diagonal. The ball comes over the top, and then he's there to get it in or knock it in, and that's what everybody calls a tap in, which technically, well, it is a tap in, but like it requires a lot to get there to tap the ball in. It's not as easy as people say.
His tap in against Dortmund is quite good.
Yeah, if you like to call that a tap in, sure, like let's call that a tap in, right? Yeah. So I feel like now he's obviously probably best striker in the Premier League right now. Like in terms of striking ability, of course, like, not just talking about number of goals scored, but in terms of just being a pure striker, very traditional, kind of that you don't see in this day and age. But no, I don't think Haaland has scored nearly as many goals. I think what's closer is the pronunciation of their names rather than but yeah, no. I mean, he's still developing as well. I think you've got to give him time. He's definitely a talented player. Don't get me wrong, I've seen glimpses of him and I feel like, we've got a good player in him for sure. And I'm happy that we signed him as well. But time, he definitely
I think the role of the striker is like pretty much similar to at the root of it is similar to the role of the goalkeeper to make sure goals don't get past you. And as a striker, you should convert. It's a very statistics based role. So sure, chances might be created, but it's your job as a striker to make sure that it goes through majority for your team.
Exactly.
So I think in that aspect, comparing Haaland to Haaland, if they were given chances, I would still say, probably not as much as Haaland would have. I think being clinical is very what he's lacking right now. I guess.
So that's our striker's choice. And who was yours again?
Xerxes.
Xerxes. Yeah.
So
fair.
That's his stand correct. But okay, that's cool. I think kind of we have a little bit of disagreements here and there, but for the general picture, we are
pretty much
on the same page. I mean, let's be honest, we don't have like a lot of options as well, right? So speaking of options, then we have a transfer window. It's open right now. We've got players who are probably on their way out. Anthony has just been confirmed. At least it's already a here we go, right? As they say, he's going to be loaned out to Betis, so he's out. Who goes from the team first?
Rashford. Honestly, even though I like him, but
I guess
the stunt that he made, I think it's something that you shouldn't do it. I mean, to be fair, all of us, I think when Ronaldo did the interview, we were quite against it also. And for Rashford to say that he openly says that he wants a new challenge outside, and then you're sort of like indirectly challenging the manager also. And then, I feel like he only has it done to play, to be honest.
I feel as an academy player, you know what a privilege it is to play for United. You should. That shouldn't be something that you should say publicly. Especially as an academy player. You know, if you come from some other clubs, academy and whatnot, fine, sure. That maybe could be something that you can do. But you know the heritage of United. You know what exactly you spend your entire life here. You know what the club is telling to be the privilege it is here, and then it's something I feel it's unacceptable.
I mean he still tried to be publicly a little bit like respectful in some ways, because I feel like he's always showing up to games and showing signing all these autographs and stuff like that. But like I mean, I still agree with y'all that coming up publicly and saying something like that, no, there's just no way back from that. It just cannot happen. And I think Amorim did his best to downplay it as well. Like I remember when Rashford first said that he wants a new challenge, then Amorim was like, it's great because I'm here with a new system, so he's going to work hard to try to fit to this new challenge. But they knew clearly that what he meant was, it's time for me to leave. And quite rightly so, I also agree that I think it's time for him to leave as well. He's kind of losing the support of the fans in some ways. Take nothing away from him, I think he has quite a career at Man Utd, to say the least. I will still remember his first game when I watched was he was sub. He wasn't even supposed to start the game. He was brought on because Martial got injured during warm up, and they said this guy called Rashford is going to start. And I was like, who is Rashford? And then Rashford scored 2, right? And that was like, wow. I was like, who is this guy? And then we started to see Rashford, and then that was his moment. And it's been quite a story. I think academy graduates can dream of something like this, getting a chance to play and then rising up to becoming one of the biggest names in the club. Actually, like there was a period where we would have considered lockdown Rashford was crazy. We were saying that this guy is crazy.
Yeah, contender, all these.
Exactly, number 10 and everything. It's been a nice career for him, and I think he still has good years left in him. Right, so he probably has aspirations to get back into the England squad as well. So I think move away for sure.
Pity though, I would have liked to seen him find his form here at United more. Yeah, I mean no. I don't think any academy player wants to leave as well. Obviously, the first intent is for them to do well here, but for him to decide, okay, I'm just gonna publicly say like this is not a place for me to grow. I think that I can grow better elsewhere. He's throwing in the wrench too quickly into things. Anyways, other people on the list are Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean,
to Saudi.
Nice player. I can foresee that happening. It's about time as well.
Right? Good run with him.
Who else? Eriksen?
Oh yes, Eriksen, yes.
I mean, to be fair, he has played well whenever he's on, but in the long term, I think he has to leave. So either this window or the following one.
Well, honestly though, at the time of recording now, which is 20th of January, I'm amazed you haven't signed anyone. You know that. I mean, it's likely that these things are going to go up. You haven't signed a single player. What's going on?
We are getting close. We're getting close to signing someone, I'm sure. I hope at least.
I'm a little worried. I mean, because you have a new manager. You promised him a dream, but I don't know. It's taking a long while to see this.
And that's something that's probably quite annoying, right? In the sense that you have a new manager who's coming, but he doesn't really have the backing, financially the backing. But I mean, this January window is not typically when most clubs will go in big on the transfer window as well, because they probably wait for the end of the season to kind of work through other players they have. But I think pressing concern would be we need a fullback for sure, because Malacia is probably on his way out as well. We're talking about Malacia. So and we covered that point, right? We're talking about how our wing back options are quite restricted. Either we have to drop Ahmad, who is one of our best creative players, to wing back. Not that he's struggling there anyway, but it would be nice to obviously have one more. And I think there were some names they were looking at. I think Bruno Mendes was one on the list.
Actually, before I came,
Carlos Kirkes was one on the list as well.
Before I came, I saw Romano saying that they were looking at one left back at Lens, I think. I forgot his name. It's a Dutch.
Yeah,
I forgot his name. Never heard of him before. But there were some solid rumors that they are looking at him. Because it's the cheapest option of all the
So clearly, financially, we are not in a very good position. I think that's the implication, right? Because gone are the days where we can just say this is the guy we want. Here's the money, give us your player. And I mean, okay, let's not forget about it. When Manchester United tax I think any player that United come in for is probably a 10 or 20 million bump up in their fee and be take it or leave it But look, I'm going to say that I think if we get a player, even we're talking about this right back situation right now, and I saw the right back they're referring to. Truth be told, I've not watched him play as well. Where did this come from? But I'll take it. I kind of feel that we could do with players who are a little bit out of the radar. Rather than now, if we get someone like Hakimi or we get someone like Alphonso Davies to come into United, right, and then people will be like, oh, we are back. This is the kind of guy that we need, and then he doesn't perform. He just has a snowball effect. I'd rather we get somebody who is promising, has potential. Try to groom them a little bit. We have to change our system, I guess. So, that's
honestly any natural left back is good enough now.
Left back. But this guy is a right back, isn't he? The one that they're looking to sign.
I think it's left back.
It's a left back.
I think so.
Oh.
But I briefly saw it. I could be wrong.
It's fine. But confirmed leaving is only Anthony right for now. Anthony's departure.
But it's only going on loan though. It's not
loan. No option to buy.
But I don't imagine going back. I feel like it's one of those things that when the loan expires and he comes back, he's just gonna be like, okay, who wants to buy him now? But maybe, who knows? I may be wrong. Maybe he refines his form and he starts doing all sorts of magic. But I feel like we'll let time. We'll let time tell us, right? I don't want to speculate too much. Who else do we have?
Rumors about Garnacho though.
To
Napoli.
Napoli, because they need to replace Kvaratskhelia because he's gone to PSG. So,
would you sell him? Honestly,
golden question.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Not. not because I still feel he has more to give. More moments of magic.
But is it consistent enough for him to stay?
I think we should still give him time to figure that out. Yeah. Under Amorim, you don't know how much more he can bring out of Garnacho, which I feel there is more.
For sure.
So I feel that it would be wasted if we just show him the door and just say, nah, you can't do that. Because I mean, to be fair, when he was given the opportunity in the past, he has shown up.
True.
And shown glimpses of what his potential could be.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping under a new manager that we can see more of this. I don't know. You? What do you think? Will you keep it?
Honestly, I'm not so sure because based on the system, right? Because Garnacho, when he first came, he was a winger, like more of a winger, right? We are no longer playing wingers anymore.
That's fair.
It's more of like an attacking mid, where like a Bruno position, that kind of thing.
That's a good point.
So I mean, it's good to have him, but does he fit the system? So far, I don't think so.
I would agree with you.
Unless he's able to really just adjust his style of play, and if he's good, then he stays.
I would agree with you. I really would agree with you in that. It's conflicting because I feel that look, he's a young player who's got promise, right? So it feels like one of those players that you would still hold on to and you would keep. Right? I think the problem is that because of the fact that we don't have a lot of standout performers, he has kind of come into the picture or come into the light as a star of Manchester United already. Right? And if you look at it in the past, right, of course Rooney and Ronaldo are exceptions, and at such a young age they were out there. But I felt like they had a certain level of humility within them. They feel like I'm still surrounded by big players and they kind of keep it to themselves because at that point in time the Man Utd team was performing, right? But like right now I feel like it's kind of got to a point where Garnacho also feels like, hey, I'm somebody, you know. Like you know who I am. Like I'm supposedly the Garnacho of Manchester United, the star boy, the young player.
And he's got he won the
he won the Puskas with the bicycle kick. The bicycle kick was fantastic, give him that. Right? And he's a good player, definitely a good player. But I also feel that he's come to a point where he knows his worth, and he feels like, okay, if y'all are not going to play me, I'm heading up. Like I'm sure that the fact that Napoli is looking at him as a replacement itself, and Napoli got McTominay, right? So I think they're starting to realize that hey, actually these players are very talented. It's just that Manny doesn't know how to use these guys, right? So and to be honest, I think if he goes to Napoli, I think he'll do well. I really think he has the potential. So. Does he fit into the system currently? I would also think not really actually. As you said, he's more of like a winger kind of guy.
Actually, now that you mention it, I just thought that maybe because he's still young, he can be moldable into.
Which is fair.
But I guess now that you mention it,
it's like Mourinho said this about Rashford. Right? Remember what Mourinho said about Rashford? He's just not enough.
Okay.
I feel like there may be some players who are just like that. Like I think Garnacho, he'll probably do his career a lot better, like favours, if he went somewhere where the system allows him to play as a left winger, right? Where he's happy to play. As opposed to just being like a makeshift attacking mid where he doesn't really enjoy it or whatever. And at the end of the day, for me, I'll just say this: if the heart is not the club, then I'd rather you leave than you stay. No matter how good you are. Right? So, all I can ask for is that if he's on his way, I'll be jolly well get a replacement for him, because I'm not going to wait to see Dalo play left attacking mid or whatever his position is going to be. I would love to think that if he goes out, then we're going to get a replacement. And if we're getting a replacement, I think it has to be a huge one. Like, we need names also in the club, right? At the end of the day, I think there are a few people who come to mind. Of course, this is like me playing FIFA, right? And playing FIFA career mode, like got unlimited amount of money. I'll go for Liao on the left, Rafael Liao, which I do feel it's not impossible. It's not impossible because of Portuguese connections.
I think his current market value is like what, 100?
It would be insanely high. It would be insanely high for sure. Which I'm quite sure we can't afford right now.
It's the era of hyperinflation.
So we will definitely be contingent on the transfers out, and I think Rashford going out has to be a big part of this now. Because if Rashford goes, then. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Amorim is still kind of getting his system worked out, menu. So signings will also have to go through him. May take a bit of time, but. Let's hope they're not stuck in seeing Dalo play as a makeshift striker or something.
What's your final predictions for where United will stand?
Okay, fine. Let's end off with this wonderful segment where we predict where United will end at the end of the season.
Are they 13 or 14? I don't know.
No, it's 14, I believe.
14, I think
currently
top 10. Top 8, maybe top 8.
Like more specifically, we have like a number. At the end of the season, we can review this and see who came the closest.
8, Oh, is it 8?
I was gonna say it.
Because I do feel that that's a good range to be safe.
Range.
It's a safe bet. I don't think we're getting relegated, so
We better not.
I don't think we're getting relegated. I sincerely hope, fingers crossed, touch wood, all the wood that I can find in here, that we don't get relegated. But no, yeah, I think between 8 to 10 is I would say 14th. Wow, that's
Something specific also.
yeah, I'm trying to get it more specific. Like I'm more pressured not to say 8 because you already said 8. No, that's the number I would have actually gone for as well. You know what? I'm gonna say Man U will finish 11th in the table.
Okay.
Bottom half.
I'm gonna say they're gonna finish 9. Just mini top part.
Where's the optimism, guys? Like, where's our top 4 finish? Like
Next season.
our next season.
Yeah,
Like,
the-
always next
The
season.
next season.
In the
Netflix
championship.
season.
In the championship. Oh shit.
I think we've had enough hopeful seasons.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think all our hope is exhausted at this point. So, but yeah. So we have our predictions. Let us know what your predictions are. Obviously, end of the season. But yeah, I think with that we've pretty much covered.
Wait, what about the next game? Rangers. Score prediction.
Score predictions, bro. Okay, let's end off with that, then, shall we?
I think they're gonna lose 2-1.
Talk about optimism.
Nah, I'm sure we're keeping a clean sheet because I think Bayern Hill will play.
Right?
Oh, nah. I think we're winning that game. I would say a 2-0 win for us.
I'll say 1-0.
Okay.
Are we winning? Or
They're winning,
right?
yeah.
Losing 2-1.
Okay, so we'll hold on to that. Along with our
see,
predictions
we
at the
shall
end of the
see.
season, and we'll see if we came anywhere closer. Yeah. So
But yeah, thank you for watching the United Untied. We'll see how this goes and we'll catch you in the next one.
Okay, so guys, now it's the transfer window. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so guys, now it's the transfer window, right? But before we even talk about who should come, what? What?